A very good morning and welcome to the program coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. My name is Medina Azaki. And today we'll be discussing the U.S. troops in Nigeria. Why the government said it's part of a collaboration, capacity training, and, investigation and knowledge sharing. Many fed that U.S. troops in the country, will instigate more crises. It will affect our sovereignty as a nation, and above all, it will create more problems for us as far as insecurity is concerned. Today, this is what we'll be delving into. What does this mean for our sovereignty? Is it going to help us curb the insecurity that we have today, or is it going to add fuel into the fire? These and more are some of the issues we'll be discussing with those who should know, but that will be after the break. Please stay with us. Welcome back. I'm being joined via Zoom by Comrade Salihu Dantata Mahmood. He's a security analyst and a friend of the house. Comrade, a very good morning and Ramadan Mubarak.
Very good morning to you and same to you. Thank you very much.
Okay. Comrade, the inevitable has happened. Has the US succeeded in coercing the government of the day, to allow it station its troops in Nigeria, something they've been looking for decades?
Well, I want to go two ways.
Okay.
One, after United President Donald Trump delegation led by National Security Advisor went to the US to tell them what the true pictures of things were. And I believe after that interface was what informed the joint operation between Nigerian troops and the American troops. Even though the forced onslaught from them through the use of missiles did not happen in the shores of Nigeria, it was from the maritime waters of Ghana that missile shot was made, not within Nigeria. The issues are, once sometimes you cannot achieve certain results on your internal onslaught. For example, the security forces from the Army, Air Force, according to others, have been carrying out onslaught in Northeast, Northwest, and now North Central. But till date, it has not been successfully caught. Because when you look at the strength of the North State actors, it's not something that ought to have taken up to this time. You are not fighting another country. These are people that are skilled. As they learn how to pull trigger maybe in a week and two. And for people that went through regular combatant training in MTA, people that went through police academy training, police colleges, get for Zaria to be so. Therefore, it shows that only combat operation cannot curb insecurity. So, as the use of some American training, because I am aware some of them are in the country now training our troops on certain use of technology, intelligence gathering, and others. So I believe the stage we are now, we ourselves help countries like Liberia when they have political instability, even though to ECOMAS. So if another country is coming, no matter how it will be labeled, if there is control, because they are coming to assist us, will not be taking full control of one mechanized division, H division, or TMI, or TMI, or what have you. It will be joint operation where our commanders will be leading and also others. So above all, there should be codes of engagement, there should be codes of operation where certain sensitive locations, they will not, for example now, where you have our intelligence formation, we wouldn't allow them to be there. But if it goes to training, for example, there are certain weapons they gave us, you can train our troops on that, how to handle them. Use of sophistication. Look at the type of mistake that was made in 2-3. So the sophistication is lacking now. So I think if on those training of cooperation, good. But if it has to go deeper than that, then we will oppose that, because no country that has independent and so forth, we allow its internal security and intelligence to be known. So if it is on the training basis and use of the technologies they donated, then that is welcome.
But I'm sure you heard that part of, the cooperation has to do with intelligence sharing. And for those who will say, 200 US troops with their weapons, with their sophisticated weapons into the country. Doesn't that call for concern as far as this insurgency problem is concerned? And people will say the US have not been able to defeat insurgent, it has not been able to defeat ISIL. What difference will it make in Nigeria?
Well, to me, you shouldn't extend to intelligence, because the moment a country is giving you cooperation and you give that country accessibility to your intelligence government, then it means you are no longer a country. So there should be restrictions on this understanding. Because we cannot say because we want to survive and have security, we also sell our birthright. So on area of intelligence, no, we can propose that it's not right. The American troops should not go to Defense Intelligence Agency and say they want to know how we do this and that, or Airport Intelligence Coordinator Center, or DMI, or what have you. Like I told you, all they are telling us openly is that it's based on training and handling of gadgets, mostly some of the gadgets they gave us. You see, even if you are going to attach them with our troops to go to Baga, Metele, Kayama, Woro, or Kalata Mapara, Bungudu, and other things. Our senior officers should be in the lead. If, for example, you have our troops that are up to 200, the Americans should not be more than 10. Because even in countries where they go for peacekeeping, we know what normally becomes of those countries. So as a patriotic Nigerian, I would say no to them having penetration in our intelligence circle, and it shouldn't be that deep, because we have well-trained officers too. What is lacking is some of the modern gadgets are also for them.
Okay. I don't know if Professor Khalifa Dokwa is in. Okay. Prof, if you can hear me, a very good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning to you all.
Okay. Ramadan Mubarak, Prof. Yes, I know. Yes, I know I have to wake you up, to attend this program. But let me ask you, what is your take on the U.S. troop in Nigeria? Is it not too late for us to oppose their coming because they are already here?
In the first place, listen, it was not a permission they sought from Nigeria. It was imposed because of the weakness of the leadership. It was not something that had an opinion. They were just prepared to come into Nigeria, spy a lot, fix certain things, then start tackling the neighbors. It is just exactly that's what they are desperate about Niger in particular. And therefore, when they come, actually they are immune wherever they are. They behave more than the embassies in terms of immunity. They will not allow even the president to access certain things in them, whatever they put there.
Okay.
And remember what happened in Kidal. They were not up to that. In Kidal, Mali, the tunnel they dug underground from Kidal up to the rivers, up to the seashores of Tunisia and Algiers. So they are not. 200 is a big issue. Full of technology. America is the most advanced country in technology over the years. America has never defeated an insurgency, any ideology. It has always worsened. America was defeated in Afghanistan, was defeated in Vietnam. And wherever America goes, America worsens the situation. America is not a good friend in terms of bilateral relations. They are actually people who are very good at invading the countries of others, bullying, and stealing the resources of others. That Venezuela is not a Muslim country for that matter. And somebody here in Nigeria is talking to you about genocide, Christian genocide. What about the people of Venezuela? Are they Muslims? So this is a discussion for another day.
Okay, and Prof. Okay, so Prof, let me jump in. Let me jump in here. Okay, Prof, you talked about them planting some things, and you also talked about Niger. What exactly are they going to plant being here? Because I understand they wanted to stay in Abuja or Lagos, but the federal government opposed it and decided to push them to the far north states of Borno. So what exactly are they going to plant, and why is Niger in this whole equation?
There is nothing like a federal government prevented them from going. They are just sitting down, planning very well. From 100, they became 200. And therefore, it is not something that they will be limited to technical or training of our armed forces. It is not. It is more than that, my dear. And therefore, Nigerian army, we have all the way to do it. But to do it with America alone, why not add other countries to help us so that they share the terrain? And has federal government told you the date, the time frame, the confines, where they are going to locate their bases, where they will be there, where the red lines? Is there anything like that? Has Nigeria told Nigerians that this is where they are going to be? Has the National Assembly discussed it? Has the permission been sought from the National Assembly? This is the kind of, that's why I said it was not they did not seek permission. They just ordered and they said, we are coming. And that's all.
Why Niger? Why Niger? Why is Niger in the equation?
They are so desperate. America is so desperate and broke. It needed money. So they want resources. They are broke. So they don't respect the laws. The United Nations laws, to them, it is nothing.
And Prof,
Israel is doing with them.
Okay, but Prof, why Niger? Why are they disturbing Niger from Nigeria?
Because of the uranium. Niger dropped them away, thinking that they will come back, but Niger did not allow them to come back militarily. So staying there is to control the entire AES states. They will spy on Chad, Niger, up to Mali. All these places are full of resources, and northern Nigeria, of course. And therefore, they will settle in Nigeria where they will feel comfortable and nobody is challenging them.
Okay. Let me.
To me, I would have said, okay, if you want to help us, let us choose a third country now, or we will send our troops there. You will send them, you will train them, and they will come back and train the others, rather than give them a place. Show me where America went and went back according to terms, anywhere where America went and settled and destroyed insurgency in the world. Where America went, and that the Americans, the soldiers did not fight with the people, the ordinary people. And did not end in with protests everywhere.
Okay,
That's
so let me. Okay, let me bring in Comrade Dantata. Comrade, Prof raised a very fundamental issue. He said the government of the day is weak, so the Americans did not consult them. They just came and, established their base and they want to do what they want to do. But where is the National Assembly in all of this? Is it that this strategic silence is what is bringing us to where we are today? And what happens to our sovereignty?
Yes, like my boss, Professor Nikwa is my boss.
Okay.
Northern Empowerment and Enlightenment Forum, where I'm Director of Security. What he said is quite true and right, because it appears our National Assembly has become like rubber stamp. If we are to go constitutionally, or if you have any part, whether on security or bilateral relation or what have you, you need to go through the two chambers of National Assembly. But what like we have now, push me, I go National Assembly, go to upper and lower chamber, the executive does things and they go. In the first place, a country like Nigeria, that many developing countries look upon we are supposed to, in terms of security, we are supposed to be a might that smaller countries like Ghana, Sierra Leone, Liberia, Togo, Senegal, Mali will look upon. But with this test from Boko Haramism in 2009 to these activities of armed banditry now, we have seen that we are only giants in the sun, where we became more theoretical than that fought civil war to unite the country. Today, the armed banditry and insurgency that is by unskilled non-state actors has become difficult. Why? Because as displaced priority, where people go into NBA to become Major General, Rear Admiral, Air Vice Marshal, where people go into police academy to become AIG, DIG, and IG, not minding the full use of the strength and skill they got from the training. The issues are poor welfare is also making it to be difficult in a situation where you don't even take care of troops the way you are supposed to take care of them. Conspiracy comes to be, corruption is also there. So the issues are the coming of any foreign country like America and what have you, as well again expose the weakness of our security architecture in the country. Time we have said, restructure the security architecture. Joining the armed forces, police, and other services is not for you to rise to become chief of army staff, naval staff, air staff, defense staff, IG, DGTSS. No, it's for you to be able to defend the territorial integrity of the country. So the coming of Boko Haram and banditry has disgraced our security forces because these are not state actors that learn how to put rifle trigger in just weeks. And it became difficult, even though I know sometimes the terrain too is not that conducive. Be it as it may, like Professor said, honestly, it is embarrassing to say that we are unable to defeat non-state actors and we have to come through the cooperation of a country like America. I know that initially their President Trump did say there was Christian genocide in Nigeria, which was not true at all. So be it as it may, I think maybe after this cooperation, we need to restructure the training institutions, further capacitate the structures there in order to live up to expectations because a lot of African countries look up to Nigeria.
Okay, comrade, I know you can't disagree with your boss and your professor. But let's even go back to Trump. You know, the first lady Oluremi Tinubu was in the U.S. and she granted the interview and said the reason why her husband took went for a Muslim ticket is because Nigerians have more Muslims than Christian, and there's no way they will win an election if the husband picks a Christian. So I think she has been able to kind of calm that angle. But let me come to Prof. Prof, we have seen the U.S. full, footprint in Afghanistan, in Vietnam, in Iraq, even, in recent countries, in some countries recently. What do we expect the people of the Northeast and the people of Nigeria, what do they expect going forward? Because the U.S. is here, their machinery is here, their technology is here, and according to you, they are very broke. They are looking for uranium, they are looking for gold. What should the people of the Northeast Nigeria expect?
The people of the Northeast and Northern Nigeria should not expect something good from somebody with diabolical intentions. Always even the smiles with the delegations, American delegations are never smiles. They will plan anytime they are ready to do harm, they will do it. Their smiles, their agreements are not agreements. They renege on 9/9 agreements. They have never respected any agreement. It is their own first, the American interest first, and they must always win over you, like Comrade Salihu said it in Tata. That is the truth. The good marks are there. Libya has been shattered. They destroyed Libya. And Somalia, the same thing. I even coined a word that has now been accepted as Somalization of African countries. Anywhere they went, they destroyed. And therefore, we shouldn't expect something much because we have not been told in the first place. Because in 2004, so during Clinton, they wanted to bring a plane and place them in Gulumba or Kalabalge of Borno State. And we had to do our own way and so on. We talked to this, to talk to that, because the government then, of government of people who could stand up to anybody and to tell them the truth. They couldn't bring it. They could not come. So this is another opportunity when you have somebody who is desperate to have the support of the White House, then there is a problem, because that's why Nigeria is a great country. The entire continent is looking up to Nigeria for leadership, and therefore, even they are deciding at the United Nations should not be Nigerian first. Nigeria should consult all the African countries and work on the majority. We have to have a block thing. We must remain non-aligned. We must not be seen to be follow the country. We are a big market for the world. No developed country in the world, Medina, I'm telling you this, that can look down on Nigeria for and overtake or say do anything nonsensical on Nigeria. Nigeria is a great country with great people, and that it is I'm sorry to say that it was the politicians who destroyed even our system, most of it, because they were chopping most of it, and they were afraid of having real security. In terms of now, the Secret Service, wherever Nigerians went, they did. The police, the same. The military, look at, they were envious. America was even envious of Nigeria for having fixed problems like Sierra Leone, Liberia, everywhere they went. So they wanted to create a problem for Nigeria to be on the defensive. Nigeria was doing it, did it under ECOMOG. And what is so big? What is a big deal about Iraq? There's non-actors here who could have been finished within hours. And after all, who created even the Boko Haram insurgency? Was it not the Western intelligence? The Western intelligence is always led by the CIA of America. Their own behavior is that just like they create a virus for you, and then they ask you to buy the antivirus. That's what they do for a living.
Okay.
You cannot. The North should not expect something, or because Mr. President did not tell us what they are going to do, the red line. Even the National Assembly do not know the red lines where the American will go. How can you on earth, a country like Nigeria of the world, that foreign troops will come in, then before people know their numbers, they are 100, 200, and so on, and they start going. By the time they go, they know the geographies, they will plan the thing, and they will start talking bombastically to our media as if they are the saviors. They are not.
Okay.
They will just expand it.
Okay.
They will do one good thing and then destroy 9 others. And for the lady, Remy, did not have it was at that time. She very well knew that even if tomorrow, if you bring somebody from the south, a minority, a Muslim minority, it is about the votes. It is not about the faith. They don't care about your faith. Politicians, they wanted votes. I said it even earlier that you cannot take a minority from the south and then take a minority from the north, a Christian, for instance, and then win. Before 12 noon, they will be defeated. And after all, they know that if by double or triple, because everybody knows that over 90% of Christians voted for Peter Obi, including the Yoruba, the enclave of this man, the southwest of Tinubu. And then the northern votes were divided into 3-4 parties. APC, PDP, NPP, all, they divided all the that's yet APC defeated them. And therefore, you cannot take a minority from the south and then add another minority and expect people to do it. Those who are insisting that on having a Christian minority from the north should tell you how to win. Let them face the camera and tell them about politics is not about faith. After all, faith, tribalism, and so on are creation of politicians. Because if you have good governance, we don't care who is coming from where. Just good governance. After all, humanity is placed above your faith or your tribe. Humanity first. Let us have good governance. Let us have people who cherish, who love Nigeria, who will think of the next generation, not about the next election. These people, as soon as they were elected, because they started thinking of the next election 4 years later.
Okay.
What kind of human beings are these?
All right. So let me bring Comrade Dantata. Comrade, Prof has raised the issue. He said desperation of this government to get the White House approval is what has led us to have, the U.S. troop in Nigeria. The U.S. had wanted a base in Nigeria since 1976 during the time of General Murtala Mohammed. He refused it. Fast forward to Olusegun Obasanjo in 2001, where the defense minister at that time, Victor Malu, also rejected it. And here we are, 20... Yes, the Minister of Defense at that time. Okay, Chief of Army Staff. That's 2001. 2001, yes. He rejected it. Fast forward 2020. Okay. But the U.S. troops were not allowed into the country at that time. 24 years down the line, here we have them. Does an approval of the White House grant election victory? Can it grant election victory for this government in 2027?
Tomorrow belongs to God.
Yes.
Martina, can I respond?
Yes, I'm talking to you, of course.
Okay, so let me start by saying, when you have a leadership that cannot stand on its feet, this is what you see. The Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration came with Lagos boys who are lacking in experience both in security, economy, and national politics. And that is why you see an American government under Trump can make allegations of Christian genocide, and instead of us to have a summit that will be like interface, where we will invite them into our country, we will all sit down, bring our security experts, bring experts like Professor Kiko and others, and also other retired officers, to tell them that our decision on security lies with us. Rather, we sent M3s who went to convince their Congress. Let me even tell you, Remi Tinubu's visit was through lobbyists. They paid, and there are allegations that huge amounts of monies were paid to lobbyists to get Trump to listen to Remi Tinubu as first lady, not just ordinarily. So those accolades, those encomiums were paid for according to allegation. They used some lobbyists, which ought not to be. Let me tell you, like Professor said, most of the American interest is business. They have Chevron, they have Shell. From when Dangote got license on the refinery, Americans have not been happy because they are seeing that their companies like Shell and Chevron, their exploration capacitation will go down. So the issues are with our Nigerian Defense Academy that have better instructors and structures. We have good and quality training we have for cadets. But what happens at the end of the day? We no longer do exchange programs. Itato, we used to take some of our officers to America, UK, Belarus, Russia to train. Because of corruption, most of these monies, fighters have been swallowing it. So the issues are, there is no way we will have a country where we will not start. But the issues are, the presidency has refused to bring expertise into what is doing. Look at what they've turned out the National Security Advisor's office to, where you even see the likes of the Rufai now castigated, tapping the phone line of your own National Security Advisor. If they can hack the phone line of your NSA, what are you now talking about security? Because that office coordinates every sector of the security in the country. So we need to tell ourselves the truth. It is not that our troops don't have the capability, but they are not given the political will. Then the sophistication of weapons, even the Tucanos we procured, they are not being put into better use. So there are a lot of things: corruption, nepotism, the lack of political will are also factors. So if Americans are being brought in now, just like Prof said, because they raise issue of Christian genocide, then again, it is neocolonialism, then it shows all the monies that is being expended on training is not justified. Then the National Assembly, there are committees, Committee on Defense in both the Senate and House, subcommittees of Army, Navy, Air Force, Security and National Intelligence Police. Do they go for oversight? When did they go to Defense Industries Corporation in Kaduna to see how they are performing? When did they go to NDA, Armed Forces Command and Staff College, Infantry School, Resettlement Center, Lagos, Air Weapons School, Police Academy, Police Colleges, therefore Nigerian Army, Air Force Training School, Naval Training Schools, all they do, they will institute public hearing, invite the higher echelons of the armed forces, and it ends there. So they also need to expand and capacitate themselves by oversighting when and where, so that they can checkmate some of these excesses. Because it is embarrassing that a country like Nigeria, that we need to rely on foreign assistance, like Prof said, to America's African Command in Niger, when Chiani, the military leader, took over, they send them packing. Whenever you have any foreign country based in country, those things are not safe. A lot of things are not safe. So the issues are, we need from aftermath of whatever cooperation to also structure our training institutions, get more sophisticated weapons, and also for that, even though they donated certain things to us, but as well, we should not allow them in totality in our intelligence circle.
All right, gentlemen, we have to wrap up here, but I'm going to give you one minute each. And let me start from Professor Dikwa. What does this portend to the image of our military? Then Tata has said bandits and Boko Haram have embarrassed our military. A U.S. troop in Nigeria, what will that, portend for the image of our military across Africa, where they see us as a giant?
Our military will remain great if it is given the political will, like Comrade Dantata said it. It is the will that is not there. And nobody can talk to you about 70% of releases in terms of financing after budgeting. And nobody will tell you about the kind of sophisticated weapons that our own military chose to go and purchase them. Why are you buying weapons that you are given conditions to use them or not to use them? Listen, Nigeria has a potential of having, even if it is democracy, Nigerian democracy can have our own democracy, Afrocracy, you call it in for African model, to have the best parts of other democracy and add them to Nigeria own, including the traditional system that we have had, where security and school enrollment were under the native authorities. The traditional system was impeccable. How can you look down and sit down for those who misled you through IMF and so on to kill your primary, secondary school, and later on now, even the university, look at the way they were humiliating professors, the way they were paying them and so on. Even African countries are paying better than after killing the primary and secondary. Now they have succeeded in almost getting the advanced level killed. So they are here to also kill the security and defense system. Because under the first president to 1999, especially from 2003, deliberately, with advice and so on, they weakened our security system in the name of the democracy by weeding out certain professionals. Young officers were removed and so on. And President Trump too, in order to get just one person, at one time, he had to retire over 113 generals. 113, is that a joke? 113 at one time, Buhari did about 80 and so on. How do we train great people like this? Their institutions not allow them to pass on the knowledge to others, and then overnight you just withdraw them because they want your own kids and kin. The government of today, unless something else done, they are full of greenhorns who will do next to nothing. And therefore, I will just pray that Nigeria survives. See, Nigeria has always survived all the conspiracies of the world. And this time too, we pray that Nigeria survives it. may God give us the chance to have good leadership, and then election, whether we have election and so on, it is just about one something that 2027 may not come to pass with this chaos that I can see at the National Assembly.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, comrade, just 1 minute. How do we save our military from total, destruction and alienation? Because Prof raised the issue that, it is all about weakening our military since the advent of the Fourth Republic in 1999. So how do we save our military?
Let us remove godfatherism into and implement and even the ones that are there on postings. Then number two, let the welfare of the other ranks of the armed forces be increased. For officers, it's juicy sometimes, but most of the field hustlers, you see more numerical strength and numbers of the other ranks than even the officers. For example, now, you can have only one brigadier general, but you cannot count the numbers of privates, lance corporal, a sergeant, and others. So let their welfare, then also their shelter. When you go to those barracks of the other ranks, then expanded and improved training. Other ranks too should be taken.
Okay, I think we are having internet glitches, but gentlemen, I'm afraid we just have to. Yes, comrade. It seems your internet is having some glitch. Yeah. Gentlemen, I'm afraid we just have to leave it here. I'd like to thank you very much for finding time, to join us. Such a wonderful, conversation and very enriching one. Thank you very much indeed for your time. I'm Dr. Professor Khalifa Dokwa, a historian and, an educationist, and of course, our in-house security analyst, Comrade Saliu Dantata Mahmoud. Gentlemen, thank you very much indeed for your time.
Thank you very much. My sister. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
All right. And that's the show for today. Do join us next time for another wonderful discussion. From me, Medina, and Zaki, and the whole team here, it's bye for now.